Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here with another video this week, and hopefully you're here because you want to either learn Chinese or improve your current Chinese skills. And so in today's video, I really want to share with you guys some pretty awesome apps that I always use, especially for people who are like upper beginner to lower intermediate or even upper intermediate as well. So if that's you and you want to learn Chinese and you want to find out some apps that might be helpful for you, then be sure to keep on watching. Okay, so hopefully you guys see my phone screen now. Basically I have a box that says 学习中文 and I'm gonna click that right now. Okay, so these are the apps that I use to study Chinese. And right off the bat, let me just reorganize this one sec. Okay, so right off the bat, the apps that I use to study vocabulary and memorize words are either Skritter, pleco, or Anki Android. These three apps I feel like specifically really help with your ability to memorize characters faster, how to identify and learn the pinyin, and also maybe just practice your pronunciation as well in Mandarin. Okay, so going into Skritter here, let me just walk you through some of the key highlights that I really like about this app. Basically, you have home, decks, progress, and my worlds, and really the only place you need to focus on are the decks. And basically you can access like so much of the library here. There's like vocabulary on HSK1, HSK2, HSK3, HSK4, HSK5, 6, and even textbooks as well, which is like unbelievable. For example, let's just go into HSK1 here. Let's just load. So yeah, they'll load the words and then they'll load the, I believe the characters. Yeah, the characters. And you can see kind of like an overview of what these things are. So right over here, section 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can see all the characters that are going to be introduced in the HSK1 exam. And it's really nice because they have them in sections, because obviously you don't want to be memorizing like 50 words, 60 words, 100 words in a day. So if you're a slow learner and you're just taking your time to learn Chinese, then this is really great because 10 words every day, knock them out, easy peasy, you're good to go. Just clicking on one box, for example here, they introduce you the pinyin and then the English and the Chinese character as well. Those are 10. And then if you want to learn, you can learn. And basically when you press learn, they'll walk you through.
我是老师.
我是老师. So, you know, I'm a teacher. Basically, they'll walk you through like the pinyin, the pronunciation, the English translation, which is really good. Or they'll tell you to say the definition, English translation, and I think it's really great because when you write it, for example, it looks like this here. Bam! Yo, this looks super cool, doesn't it? Got it, I got it, boo! The second app that I want to mention is one that I already mentioned before, but it's of course pleco. I think pleco is like one of the golden apps that people always use. And of course, I really like it because it has the flashcard test feature. Let me just go through the test feature here. And it's really great because in the flashcard section, if you are too lazy to basically write out all these flashcards and you don't want to really learn from writing stuff out on paper, having a digital version on your phone, next best thing. Basically, you can press a new test here, press yes, and then they'll basically, for this, when you download the app, they'll load basically a bunch of flashcards into your pleco app. So you guys already kind of, I'm sure you guys, if you watch my past video, you know that what kind of pleco looks like. You can reveal the card, the English translation, what it is in traditional or simplified characters. If you didn't get it correct, you can mark it as incorrect. If you did get it correct, you can mark it as correct. And you also have the opportunity to, you know, write it as well if you press the, what is it, like the paintbrush here. So let him go. Let him go. Okay, so, oh god, I'm so bad. Okay, anyway, so yeah, pleco is a really good app if you want to memorize words and memorize things faster. Another app that I really like is called Anki Android. And if you guys go into Anki Android right now here, yeah, so basically Anki Android is really good because if you haven't heard of the method called spaced repetition memorizing, if you see a word more often than others, you are more likely to memorize the word. But yeah, basically with Anki, you will be prompted to hit either again, good, or easy, and whether what you click again, the word will more likely show up to you again and again and again. If you click easy, then the word will probably not show up as often. Just like this, like that. And yeah, and so basically, the more you are exposed to a word, you will remember it a lot faster and a lot better. And I got this app basically from a video from JJ Says. So JJ Says, if you're watching this, hi. It was really helpful because there was just some words that I could not memorize because they were either really hard or I just didn't have any exposure to them either in my textbook or whatever I needed to know, so I think it's really good there. Okay, so the next two apps aren't necessarily apps for vocabulary, but they are for short stories. And I really like Nin Chinese and Do Chinese for these two purposes. But for Nin Chinese, I really like it because they have different like levels in which you can kind of select. But for HSK level 2, let's go through the short story here for an example. Describe your family members, press play. Let's do the learn mode. And so yeah, I think they'll basically walk you through a story, which will make you kind of feel more engaged, I would say. And they will prompt you to show you what kind of things you're going to be learning now. So they're going to teach you how to say Mei Mei, which is little sister, and Didi, and Ge. And so they'll just basically tell you to write the pinyin here. Yeah, so I really like this app because I feel like for a lot of language learners, like when you're learning how to write Chinese, you're not given a lot of opportunity to write the pinyin. And I feel like learning pinyin is basically what you use to communicate daily in Chinese to a lot of people. So on that note, I think it's just really good to have opportunities like on Nin Chinese to learn like. And the next app for short stories that I really like is called Do Chinese. So let me just go to Do Chinese here. Basically have like little like lessons where they teach you how to say key phrases. So for nice to meet you, 很高兴认识你. If you press the play button, you will basically hear that. There's also recommended stories that they have here as well. And they basically have all the pinyin, the Chinese characters, and the English translation as well. You press play. So the next 3 to 4 apps, Ria have already kind of mentioned in the past video, but basically Chinese simple, HSK 1 to 6. Within the 6 apps that you can potentially download, you are exposed to dictionary, word games, sentences, sentence games, stories, story games, picture card games, and as well as a HSK course. And what I also really like about this is because I already mentioned that Nin Chinese and Do Chinese have short stories, this app also has short stories. So definitely check that out as well. The last HSK app that I have on my phone is called HSK Online here, and I just really like it because they have past exams, mock exams, vocabulary training, listening, reading, writing, and incorrect answers. And so basically I feel like it's almost like a full scope progress of how you might be doing in preparation for an HSK exam. So if you wanted to look at past exams, you know, you're definitely open to do that with here. And they basically give you the test to start doing it, right? If you know HSK exam layout, this is basically what it looks like. And they read you the audio and all that stuff, so really cool. Okay, and so the last 3 apps on my phone are hellotalk, Tandem, and italki. And you might be wondering, like, why are you recommending these apps? Like, they're not apps for self-learning Chinese. But you know what? One thing that I've learned when learning Chinese is to really not be afraid. I guess that goes for any language, but basically to not be afraid to talk. And I remember when I started this Instagram account, Languages with Nick, in the beginning, all I would do is post notes about learning Chinese. Even at the point after I got to like HSK level 2 like level and comprehension, like I knew how to conversate with people, I feel like. And I just didn't do it. And so I feel like for anybody who is a language learner, you cannot speak the language depending on what your goal is. But for me, like my goal was to ultimately communicate in the language to other people. I was like super shy, super nervous, but at the end of the day, like if you want to improve your Chinese, you have to make mistakes. You have to go out there and talk to people on HelloTalk, Tandem, or italki. On these apps, basically, you are able to actually like correct people and how what they say. You're able to fix their comments, make suggestions, have voice conversations, voice talks, video calls, and also maybe even like meet them in person if they're in your city. But yeah, so that's pretty much a wrap to Chinese apps that are on my phone. These are personally ones that I kind of always have been using. But yeah, I just think this layout and how the apps are kind of like flowed through from then out is really great, because if you're a first-time learner, the first thing you have to do off the bat is to learn vocabulary. If you don't have vocabulary, you cannot make a sentence. So if you know vocabulary, you can make a sentence. The sentence might not be correct, but at least you said some stuff. So that's kind of like my way to learn. So learn through skritter, pleco, anki, Android. And then when you have a good grasp of like how to say certain things, learn through Nin Chinese and Do Chinese. Figure out how to read and comprehend short stories, what people are saying on a day-to-day basis. And then if you are curious about HSK 1 to 6, definitely check those exams out. These apps are really helpful for that purpose. And then ultimately, if you are super brave and you're really confident and you just want to practice to people, whether you are just at the very beginning stages of learning Chinese or even like after the fact that you can have a really good conversation, using hellotalk, tandem, and italki would be a big recommendation at any stage of your learning process. But yeah, I would definitely focus on vocab first. Alright guys, so that's pretty much a wrap to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of like the structure and how my apps work on my phone and how I would go about learning Chinese from ground up basically. Vocabulary, short stories, sentence structures, exam prep, and then practicing with people. I think those are some really key ways to really improve your Chinese, but also like get to your goals faster. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It would really help me a lot. And if you guys are also enjoying these videos, please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about how you're learning Chinese or one of the apps that you'd really recommend that I didn't mention already. So yeah, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.